today's topic for the training is the change management. So here you will see what do you see here? You will find a bud which gets blowed over the time and it comes turn into the flower. So basically there is a change from bud to a flower. There is basically gradually a change. So this change is just generally been in a pharma industry or any industry being termed as the change management. So why change? Is there anything static in life? No, I think no. Few are the things which are which can never be static in the life. Age always change, money always change, status always change, job always maximum times it may be change. Earth naturally and gradually it's change. Soil changes, water changes. So everything which are we are surrounding here it turns to the change. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow, sometimes it take more time just to change, but everything is changeable. So change is all around and it is all around us, and it is not only, it is only the constant. So this is the basically concept we just will discuss here. So why change? So then we comes to the life, that is a dynamic. So is our work is also dynamic. Nothing is permanent but change. Pharma, a dynamic field. New regulations are there, so change requirements are there. New concepts, new technologies, compliances. So change is inevitable. It means कि always you are required to be inevitable. Means कि always you require to accept it that there is a change. So past and future both are required. So always in future there will be change. So what is change? So a change in pharmaceutical language, a change in the SOPO document, specification, manufacturing facility, manufacturing process, systems, batch sizes, testing methods, materials. These all are the change which generally we day routine observed in our professional life. So old way and the new way. The old way is the existing one and the new way is the proposed one. So whenever you all are filled from the pharma, so you whenever you are going for the change control form, so you always be find some existing method, that is the old way, and whenever you are going to propose, that means the new way to suggest the any idea or change that comes under the proposed changes. So what is change management? Basically a change management may be termed as a process that ensures that changes to materials, methods, equipment, softwares, vendors, formulae are properly justified, documented, validated, approved and traceable. So this comes under the change management process. This process includes the evaluation to determine whether the justification or validations are required and the level at which they are required. So this comes under the change management. Again I will repeat it, a process that ensures that a change to material, methods, equipment, software, vendors, formulae are properly justified, documented, validated, approved and traceable. So what is the change management so important? This is the basic question. So a total of 689 observations from FDA were related to the CMS, change management system, in 2016. That is a data published in one of the press release. Only 689 observation from FDA. FDA here terms at the US FDA basically. So it was only the 689 observation 2016 and 2017. In the change management system, in a top 15 deficiency reported by FDA and in top 10 deficiency reported by the MHRA. So basically 15 and 10 deficiencies were only observed for 10,000 plus pharmaceutical companies in India. An average of only 10 changes are reported per company per year. So you may have an idea, India having the 10,000 plus pharmaceutical companies, and as an average every company reports and record only 10 changes in a year. So you may see how much the changes are there. You day routine you may find there are changes in specification, manufacturing process, deviations are there, kappa managements are there. So everything is linked with the change management system, but the peoples are not register it, not taking into the system as a positive perspective. So they just try to get it bypass and don't register it or compile it in their records. So change management therefore needs to be an integral and important part of the any company pharmaceutical quality system. In pharmaceutical quality system, as per the UDRALEX, it is very important that the change management system should be in place. So the guidelines which generally been required for the change management system, these are the ICH Q10, CFR GMP sections 210-11, and then the PDA technical reports number 18, EU GMP guide as told Annex 11, and also the pharmaceutical quality system, and the GMP good automated manufacturing practice. These all are generally required the change management system to be well placed in the system. So the change is basically, you will find here the change, so you had to be very acceptable to the change. So how will we register a change in our system, that we will discuss here now. So the Q10 on the change management system, what exactly the definition says, the change management system 3.2.3, the innovation, continual improvement, the output of process performance and product quality monitoring and kappa drive change. Next, to evaluate, approve, and implement these changes properly, a company should have effective change management system. There is generally a difference in the formally. So the change management processes prior to the initial regulatory submission and after submission, where the changes to the regulatory filing might be required under the regional requirements. So this is the basic requirement for the change management system as per the ICH Q10 requirement. The change management system ensures the continual improvement is undertaken in a timely and effective manner. So it should provide a high degree of the assurance there are no unintended consequences of the changes. So this is the basic definition and a basic requirement from the ICH 10, which defines the requirement and the importance of the change management system to our pharmaceutical industry. Next, the change management system should include the following as per the appropriate for the stage of the life cycle. Quality risk management should be utilized to evaluate the proposed changes. The level of the effort and the formality of the evaluation should be commensurate with the level of the risk. Proposed changes should be evaluated relative to the marketing authorization, including the design space where the established and or current product and processes understanding. There should be an assessment to determine whether a change to the regulatory filing is required under the regional requirements as stated in ICH Q10, Q8 is basically working with the design space in is not considered a change from a regulatory filing perspective. However, from the pharmaceutical quality system standpoint, all changes should be evaluated by a company's change management system. So this is the basic difference between the ICH Q8 and Q10. In Q8, this is basically for the R&D purpose, so design space and everything pharmaceutical quality system is not considered there. But the pharmaceutical quality system, it is the ICH Q10, which clearly defines the requirement that all the changes should be evaluated by the company's change management system. So another thing, the change management system also include the proposed changes should be evaluated by expert teams contributing the appropriate expertise and knowledge from the relevant areas. Example, pharmaceutical development, manufacturing, quality, regulatory affairs, or medical. So there should be a team should be constituted over there, which having the some expert, and naturally the experienced people will be leading the team, and the head of the quality assurance will final lead the team. So this team proposed and evaluated all the proposed changes, how to be implemented, what are the pros and cons for this change. So that team will suggest to the head quality assurance. So ultimately a decision by the head quality assurance is a final, and the change is finally approved by the head quality assurance. And the after implementation and evaluation of the change control changes should be undertaken to confirm the change objectives were achieved and what there was not deleterious impact on the product quality. So this is the basic requirement of the change management as per the Q10. So now how to facilitate a change? It is basic question. Why should we and why how to facilitate a change? How can we proceed to for a change? So identify if the change is or is not subject to the change control. So you first of all having some knowledge about the what exactly the change is, it required to be registered or not to be required to register, is it comes under the change control management system or not. So this is first of all you need to identify, then understand regulatory requirements and expectations for the change control, basically the target market. For example, few of the other regulatory markets like EU, few of the TG and others, there are the different type of the change management systems are there. So you require to have some knowledge about the target market, that how the change to be capture and how to be they are required to be register or login into the system. Understand the purpose of the change control, properly describe a change, properly justify a change, and develop a comprehensive change execution plan. So these three things: properly describe a change means the title of the change must be clear, then the justify a change, then develop a comprehensive change of the execution plan. How the change will be implemented, that must be very clear to everyone. The next is conduct a proper change risk assessment, then accurately execute the change, accurately implement the change, utilize critical thinking skill throughout the change control process, avoid pitfalls during the change control process. So these are the basic requirements for the how to facilitate a change. Now we come to the flow chart of the how the change control management system is facilitated. The procedure is like that: intended change, then the QA issues the change control form CCF including the numbering system, then change proposal by the initiator one, then evaluation of the initiator's department head, then QA evaluation and approval includes the classification whether it is critical, major or minor, then comments by the affected departments or the change control committee, then customer approval, then the change implementation, then the post implementation review, then follow up and close out, and finally the change control trending. So this is the basic flow of the change control management system. So the in procedure we will discuss the clear definition of the scope, the relevance of the other sites, whether it is related with the same sites or some other linked sites are also comes under this change. So you must be knowing that. Relevance to the other products, is it concerned with the specific product or it may have impact on the other products too, you need to find out the relevance. Impact on the other aspects of the manufacturing process or control strategy, regulatory impact within or beyond the established condition and relevant to the approved or the post approval change proposal. So this is the change control procedure. So the change control categorization is also very important. You must knowing the which type of the categorization or which categorization should be. Generally it is been termed as the critical, major and the minor. So few of the examples of the critical changes are there: manufacturing facility, if there is a change in the manufacturing facility, process equipment, utility, analytical instruments, manufacturing processes, analytical procedures, specification, all change controls that has been categorized as the critical shall be sent to the head corporate quality assurance or head quality, or where as per the company individual company policy for the his review, recommendation, approval of the change controls. So the major changes, in major changes, the few examples are there: the change in the batch size, approved vendor, primary packaging material, storage condition, stability, cleaning procedures, and all changes that has also been categorized as measures should also be head CQA and the other head quality or deputed person who is the senior in the quality department needs to review and give the approval for the change control. So critical and major change controls are generally being required to be taken into the consideration by the senior most person in the organization for the quality, responsible for the quality. He must be knowing all the change control and his approval is must as per the procedure and expectation. In minor changes, examples are like calibration procedures, then the secondary packing, revalidation and the requalification, standard operating procedures, formats, and EHS. So these are the minor changes which are being termed as the minor changes in the change control management system. So change control categorization for the production, we will have some few examples of like that. Change in the location, site layout, equipment, process control parameters, batch sizes, formulation in the finished product. Any change in the validated or established system, temporary changes shall be planned to generate the data prior to any permanent change. Temporary changes in the system or documents for the defined period of the batches, etc. So these are the examples of the production change control. So few of them is maybe categorized as the major or minor depending upon the criticality of the issue or the change, whatever it is. So it is been termed as the production changes. So in engineering, change in any equipment, repair, replacement or critical part of the equipment, process control parameter in utilities, facility and area layout. These changes are comes under the engineering department. So in quality assurance, basically it has the much broad requirement for the change management system. Change in the facility, instruments, documentation, cleaning procedure, analytical method, validation vendor of the raw material, SOPs, batch manufacturing records, packing records, specification, etc. All the others and remaining things comes under the quality assurance change control categorization. Now here the point to be noted, the language style is the element that describes the ways that the author uses words. The author's word choice, sentences, structure and the sentence arrangement all work together to establish the mood, images and meaning of the text. You will find some examples of the organizations where you will find some changes. There are more than 10 or 15 and a number of the changes are there, but if you take one change control from the system, you will find it is not properly described, it is not clearly written, there are some spelling mistake, the paragraph is not clear what exactly the change he wants, what exactly he wants to be, or what was the existing system, what to be proposed system, what is the justification, what is to the reason for the change control, that is not clear. So you require to have the proper and the language style and the mood and the images, you must having that it clearly describe the exact text of the change, what actually wants to change. You must having that type of the language, that type of the things to be properly structured way that the change can be easily understood by the other person. So generally it is been expected by everyone that change control is the system, the users is not required to be aware of the changes because he himself is the initiator for the change control. So this is there will be the another person who is going to review, who is going to check the system, so he must be knowing. So you whenever you are writing a change control, you must have that knowledge that the other person should be clearly understood what the requirement you raise for the change. So this point is very to be noted for the change control management system, very important point. So our own cases, there are few things are there, observation from our own CCs. Everybody we can have our own change control systems, we can find some of the auditors observation on the change control forms. The biggest problem, writing in a style which only initiator will understand. As I told earlier that the if I am the initiator, I can only understand my language, so there is no use of that language, because I had to present this document to some other person who is required to evaluate my system. So once you try to write a change control, you should be very clear, very specific and try to get it in a very fashionable manner so that it can be easily understood by the other person. Too many words, no concise writing, bad handwriting. Few of the person writings in the change controls, they are writing very bad. So no concise writing or the too many words they are trying to write into the change control proposed procedure or the existing procedure. Grammar mistakes, there is no nothing, whether it is a past, whether it is a present or whether it is a future. So the grammar mistakes are there, so they are quite confused. Writing is another thing, sometimes they are trying to say like that, sometimes they're writing like that, so there is a confusion maybe in the writing. So everyone should be very clear what title and what exact he wants to state into the change control management system. So message not clear, basically over that the message what change need to be adopted is not clear. So the once the case study we will discuss here the additional source of the supply, for example lactose. The standard high shear wet granulation process is there. Conventional lactose mono microcrystalline cellulose formulation is there. So in general we will discuss here the literature and the internal experience. It's the main thing. Primary particle size a key variable in the wet granulation, you are well aware. Development experience, product dissolution sensitivity to the extent of the granulation is another big requirement for the any changes. And the production experience, dissolution not sensitive for the normal variation on lactose or particle size. So if any changes is there, you require to be having the complete knowledge and the expertise to that formulation. Thereafter only you can proceed for a change. So the conduct the small scale study. If it is required to, you are going to change from lactose to some other ingredient, you require to conduct some small scale study. Head to head process comparison at 2 kg scale batch size or on the difference between the original and the new source, and then verify. Then extended dissolution testing profile full scale demonstration and showed basically F2 comparability whatever it is. Then the implement source change under the change control procedure. Then monitor routine production, trending of the dissolution results, reinforces no impact of the change. So this is required before you are going for the change in a any system. So general overall the conclusion, the basic thing about this, a formal change control management system or the change management system should be established to evaluate the changes that affect the production and control of a drug product or intermediate or API. सो एक फॉर्मल आपके पास होना ही चाहिए चेंज मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम. एक फॉर्मल चेंज मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम शुड बी इन place. The regulator consider the change control a very critical GMP compliance issue. If you are having some issues in the change control management system or change management system, then the regulatory auditors they find it very critical, because you are not quite aware what the existing procedure, what the proposed procedure, how did you implement this change, how what were the your implementation or action plan, how was implemented, then what were the follow up, then the effectiveness of the proposed system which was implemented. This should be clearly written, and all the evidence related to the implementation, related to the follow up, related to everything whatever the change proposed needs to be enclosed with the change control form. If it is not there, there will be some confusion, and there will be, if there is some confusion or anything is missing, the chain of the document is missing from the action plan, then that will be termed as very critical for the change management system, and it gives a very frustration to the auditors. He may get be frustrated that the system is not well placed or followed. So the company should have an effective CMS that ensures that the continual improvement are undertaken quickly, while also providing the assurance that no unintended consequences of the change exist. To effectively deal with the basic CMS requirement, companies should seek to implement electronic, automated, and wherever applicable, enterprise wide change management system. So basically this one is the requirement for the change management system. Again, it's a chance, infinite chance. So C and the G, if you put G then a change, or if you put C then a chance. So we require to go from chance to change. Every time you are not there just to explain your changes, whatever your document describe the change, it will be acceptable to others. You don't have, you are not required to give your interview to the any auditor. So it is mandatory, or it is expected from the regulatory point of view, that everything you got into the change control form, or whatever the documents are required to be attached with the date, should be systematically enclosed. So that is the expectation.